If you think skipping sleep is harmless, think again. It could be silently destroying your brain and body in ways that you would even notice at first. In fact, it is one of those things that you can do repeatedly without any immediate consequences that leave you thinking it is no big deal. But over time, this bad habit will catch up to you and lead to major issues if not addressed. And I'm going to expose exactly how this works in today's video so you can avoid these health risks. You see, our bodies need a good night's rest for all sorts of important functions, like repairing cells, building muscle, and clearing out toxins. Not getting enough sleep disrupts these processes and sets off a series of events that increase the risk of developing chronic conditions down the road. It's kind of like trying to run a marathon without proper training. At first you might feel okay, but eventually you'll burn out and possibly injure yourself. But what are the hidden ways that lack of sleep wrecks your health? Well, let's start with the obvious. One of the most direct effects of missing sleep is impaired cognitive function. Research shows that sleep deprivation affects attention, memory, decision-making, and overall cognitive performance. Studies also show that long-term sleep loss actually reduces your intelligence by damaging your brain cells. For example, a study published in the Journal of the American Heart Association found that people who slept less than 6 hours per night had smaller total brain volumes compared to those who slept 7 or more hours. Specifically, they found that people who regularly got insufficient sleep had less gray matter in their prefrontal cortex and cerebellum. The prefrontal cortex is responsible for high-level thinking, planning, and rational decision-making, while the cerebellum coordinates movement and balance. So when either of these areas is compromised due to sleep loss, it can have serious consequences. For instance, you might find it harder to concentrate on tasks, make sound judgments, or even control your emotions. You may also experience physical symptoms like dizziness or loss of coordination. These effects can be subtle at first, but over time they can become more pronounced and debilitating, especially as you age. The good news is that improving sleep can help restore cognitive function and potentially reverse some of the damage done by sleep loss. Next, sleep deprivation has been shown to weaken your immune system, leaving you more susceptible to illness and infections. According to a study conducted at the University of Chicago, inadequate sleep increases the production of cortisol and adrenaline, two hormones that suppress the immune system. Consequently, individuals with poor sleep patterns are more vulnerable to common illnesses like colds and flu. Additionally, studies suggest that sleep deprivation can hinder the body's ability to fight cancer cells, potentially leading to increased cancer risk. For example, research published in the Journal of the National Cancer Institute revealed that people who consistently slept fewer than 6 hours per night had a higher risk of developing breast cancer compared to those who slept 7 or more hours. Another study published in the same journal found that sleep deprivation increased the risk of prostate cancer. These findings indicate that sleep plays a crucial role in maintaining a robust immune system and preventing disease. Furthermore, not getting enough sleep can cause hormonal imbalances, particularly affecting appetite hormones. When you don't get enough sleep, your body produces more of the hormone ghrelin, which stimulates appetite, and less of the hormone leptin, which signals fullness. This imbalance can lead to cravings for high-calorie foods and difficulty in weight management. Research published in the International Journal of Obesity found that sleep-restricted individuals consumed more calories and had higher body mass indexes compared to those who got sufficient sleep. In addition, sleep deprivation can disrupt the normal functioning of the endocrine system, leading to an increased risk of developing hormonal disorders such as diabetes. A study published in the journal Diabetes Care showed that people who slept less than 6 hours per night were more likely to develop insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes. These findings underscore the importance of prioritizing sleep for maintaining hormonal balance and overall health. Another hidden way that lack of sleep destroys your health is by increasing inflammation throughout your body. Inflammation is a natural process that helps protect against injury and infection. However, chronic inflammation can contribute to various health problems, including heart disease, diabetes, and cancer. Studies show that sleep deprivation activates the sympathetic nervous system, which triggers the release of pro-inflammatory cytokines such as tumor necrosis factor alpha and interleukin-6. Elevated levels of these cytokines are associated with increased risks of cardiovascular diseases, metabolic disorders, and certain cancers. For example, research published in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology found that people who reported sleeping less than 6 hours per night had higher levels of inflammatory markers, suggesting a greater risk of heart disease. Similarly, a study published in the British Medical Journal revealed that sleep duration was inversely associated with the risk of developing colorectal cancer. These findings highlight the importance of adequate sleep for maintaining low inflammation and reducing the risk of chronic diseases. And that's not all. Poor sleep can wreak havoc on your heart health, increasing the risk of developing cardiovascular diseases. Several studies have established a link between sleep deprivation and hypertension. Research suggests that individuals who do NT get enough sleep have higher blood pressure levels compared to those who achieve sufficient rest. Consistently elevated blood pressure due to sleep loss can strain the heart and blood vessels, increasing the risk of heart attacks and strokes. Moreover, sleep deprivation can lead to cardiac arrhythmias, which are abnormal heartbeats that disrupt the heart's regular rhythm. According to a study published in the journal Current Cardiology Reviews, people who experienced frequent awakenings during sleep had an increased risk of developing atrial fibrillation, a common type of arrhythmia. This finding is significant because atrial fibrillation raises the risk of stroke and other cardiovascular events. These studies demonstrate that prioritizing sleep is crucial for maintaining healthy blood pressure and preventing cardiac arrhythmias, ultimately reducing the risk of heart disease and stroke. Sleep loss can also negatively impact your mental health, increasing the risk of developing mood disorders such as depression and anxiety. Research published in the journal JAMA Psychiatry revealed that individuals with insomnia were more likely to experience depression than those without sleep problems. Additionally, studies have shown that sleep deprivation alters brain regions associated with mood regulation, such as the amygdala, hippocampus, and prefrontal cortex. These changes can lead to emotional instability, irritability, and an increased vulnerability to stress. For instance, a study published in the journal Biological Psychology found that sleep-deprived participants exhibited heightened activity in the amygdala, the brain region responsible for processing emotions, in response to negative images and words. This heightened emotional response contributes to the development and progression of mood disorders. Moreover, sleep loss can exacerbate existing mental health conditions, making it challenging to manage symptoms effectively. A meta-analysis published in the journal Depression and Anxiety Disorders concluded that insufficient sleep worsened the severity of depressive symptoms in individuals with depression. Similarly, research suggests that sleep deprivation exacerbates anxiety symptoms, making it harder for those with anxiety disorders to cope with everyday stresses. These findings underscore the importance of addressing sleep issues in managing and preventing mental health disorders. Now, while we've covered several ways that lack of sleep destroys your health, it is essential to consider that there are also certain medical conditions and medications that can interfere with sleep. For example, sleep disorders like insomnia, sleep apnea, and restless leg syndrome can make it difficult to get a restful night's sleep. Similarly, certain medications, including antidepressants, stimulants, and corticosteroids, can have sleep disturbances as a side effect. In these cases, it is crucial to consult with a healthcare professional to manage the underlying condition or explore alternative treatment options. By addressing these issues, individuals can improve their sleep quality and reduce the negative health consequences associated with sleep loss. So what can you do to protect yourself from the dangers of missing sleep? Well, first, prioritize getting 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep each night. Establish a regular sleep schedule, maintain a conducive sleep environment, and practice good sleep hygiene. These measures will help you develop healthy sleep habits and improve sleep quality. Moreover, incorporating relaxing bedtime routines such as reading or taking a warm bath can signal to your body that it is time to rest, facilitating a smoother transition into sleep. Furthermore, it's important to recognize the signs of sleep deprivation in yourself and others, such as excessive daytime sleepiness, mood changes, and decreased productivity. Taking steps to address these signs promptly can prevent more serious consequences associated with chronic sleep loss. By prioritizing sleep and taking proactive measures to protect your sleep quality, you can safeguard your physical and mental health, reduce the risk of chronic diseases, and enhance overall well-being. Remember, investing in sleep is an investment in your present and future health. Lastly, what are some simple things that you can do to fall asleep faster, stay asleep longer, and wake up feeling refreshed and energized? Well, first, you can try drinking herbal teas like chamomile or valerian root before bed. These teas have calming properties that can promote relaxation and sleepiness. Chamomile tea, for example, contains apigenin, a compound that binds to certain receptors in the brain and promotes calmness and sleepiness. Valerian root tea, on the other hand, has a sedative effect that can help induce sleep. Drinking these teas before bed can help prepare your body for rest and potentially improve sleep quality. Keep in mind, though, that everyone's body is different and what works for one person may not work as well for another. Experiment with different teas and find what suits you best. Additionally, it is important to consult with a healthcare professional if you have any concerns or underlying health conditions before incorporating herbal teas into your sleep routine. They can provide personalized advice and ensure that the teas are safe and appropriate for you. or click here to see another video that I think you'll like.